Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the fourth annual Strong Bones Gala Boston, this year coming to you virtually. I'm Melissa Bernardi, the Director of Development at the Osteogenesis Imperfecta Foundation, and on behalf of our Board of Directors, staff, and the estimated 50,000 men, women, and children in the U.S. who are living with OI, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I know that we would usually be coming together at the Sheraton Framingham, enjoying an evening of delicious food and drinks, raffles, casino games, an amazing silent auction, and fun with friends and family as we come together to raise money to fund the mission of the OI Foundation. I'm sad to not see you all in person, but OI is not just a rare genetic bone disorder. It actually affects a person's type 1 collagen. And since collagen is a part of every system of the human body, OI is a whole body disorder, with respiratory complications being the leading cause of death of adults with OI. And so, due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, we had to put the health and wellness of members of the OI community first and pivot this event to a virtual one. As a small nonprofit organization for a rare disorder, the OI Foundation relies on fundraising events such as this one to allow us to continue providing vital information and programs as well as funding groundbreaking research. In fact, 70% of the OI Foundation's operating budget comes from individual donations from people like yourselves. So we truly appreciate you being here and continuing to support us, even in these crazy times. But I have great news. We're still going to have a great time tonight. We're still going to have raffles. Everyone who is joining us tonight will be entered to win our door prize raffles that we will draw throughout the evening. You must be present to win, so stick around. If you live in the Framingham metro area and purchased a party package from Sincere Cheer, you're still going to have great food. You're going to hear from Christine Wyman Rossi, an OI Foundation Board of Directors member and our chair for tonight's event. And this year, you're going to get to hear from several other local OI community members as they share their OI stories. We're still going to have an amazing auction and have the chance to make a direct donation to fund the mission of the OI Foundation. And for that, we are truly grateful. So let's get started. I want to take everyone on a quick tour of tonight's auction and donation platform as we're all getting settled. It's called Bidding for Good, and you can access it on your computer or your phone simply by going to www.biddingforgood.com/OI Foundation. From the homepage, you have a few options. You can click the various buttons to view the amazing auction items up for grabs or to make a direct donation to fund the OI Foundation's mission to improve the quality of life for those living with osteogenesis imperfecta through research, education, awareness, and mutual support. The online auction will be open until Friday, October 16th, so you have plenty of time to bid on your favorite items and share the link with your friends and family. Again, that link is www.biddingforgood.com/OI Foundation. We've written it in the chat for you, and if you have any questions throughout the evening, feel free to post them in the chat. So now, without further ado, I want to introduce Christine Wyman Rossi, OI Foundation Board of Directors member and chairperson for this fantastic event. Christine, welcome.
Welcome to our fourth Strong Bones Boston Gala. I am Christine Wyman Rossi, and although this may not quite be the way we envisioned being together for our fourth Strong Bones Gala, it means the world to me to see so many of you joining us tonight. On behalf of myself, my family, and my amazing committee, we would like to welcome you. Without the support of these people and the OI Foundation, this event, like all others before it, would not be possible. Most of these people help tirelessly because they love someone with OI, and it is humbling and inspiring every year to see just how much they do to make my dream of tonight a reality. This year has impacted all of us, with challenges we could not have begun to imagine. But what hasn't been impacted is our need to understand OI better and find answers. If anything, COVID has reminded us how many answers we still don't have, how much we still don't know. But one thing I do know is it has shown a light on the people who show up to support us, and that is all of you. When I think of my relationship with OI, I often say what a complicated one it is. It has been my most challenging by far, but also my greatest teacher and my greatest guide. OI has been in my family for multiple generations. I was born with a broken femur and then went on to have dozens of fractures in my life. When I was young, because so little was known about OI, I was told as I would get older, I would grow out of it. So imagine my surprise when my fractures stopped or slowed down. But not only did I not grow out of it, a host of other collagen related complications appeared in my adult life. No one wanted to admit the complications I experienced could be OI related until I almost died having my second child, Hugo, because my tissue itself was fragile. That was really when a light bulb went off for me that we need to understand what it means to be an adult with OI beyond broken bones. I knew two things in that moment. I knew in my soul there was a direct connection with OI and to why this happened to me. And second, that OI as an adult is a host of unknowns that can lead literally to life and death. And that is why we must find answers. That experience made me look at my full family's history in a new light. My grandfather with OI died at 54 from a ruptured aorta. My father was headed on the same path, but had a valve replacement to avoid the same fate his father faced. And in the last decade, I have lost far too many dear friends to OI-related complications that, simply put, we don't understand. But what I do understand is that I cannot and will not watch any more people I love lose their lives simply because we don't have the answers. And you know what? Neither will you. You participating tonight by logging on, bidding on items in the auction, and most importantly, making donations is what will help find answers and save lives. For the past 3 years, the money raised at this event have allowed a cardiac component to be added to a pulmonary study being funded by the OI Foundation through the Brittle Bone Disorders Consortium. And this month, I received word of a new study examining the link between OI and maternal hemorrhaging. Talk about coming full circle. What is the saying? The squeaky wheel gets the grease. And for those of you who know me, I can squeak so loud it will make your ears bleed. If I can help prevent one woman living with OI from having to go through the same near-death experience that I went through 13 years ago, I will know all of my hard work has been worth it. Simply put, research being funded by the OI Foundation is and will save lives. I am so excited that tonight we are going to hear from some of my very favorite and treasured family members and friends impacted themselves by OI. We all have had different experiences, different numbers of broken bones, and different complications caused by OI. But we all share one common goal: to fund OI research to provide answers to save our lives. Thank you for being here tonight as our family, our friends, our physicians, our researchers, our medical teams of all of us living with OI. One of my very favorite movies, The Lorax, ends with a quote that always reminds me of the importance of what we are here to do tonight. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. Thank you for caring a whole awful lot and for being right here with me as the dreamers, the doers, the believers, the supporters. And because of you, our dream of funding the research that will save lives will do just that, save lives. I hope you will donate tonight to support the amazing research of the OI Foundation to help to push the research forward. Please pick up your phones and go right now to www.biddingforgood.com/OI Foundation to make a direct donation to help fund this vital research. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you.
Thank you so much, Christine. Without events such as this gala, there would be no OI Foundation. And so, even in a pandemic, the show must go on. And we so greatly appreciate you and your trailblazing spirit. Thank you for being flexible and really embracing this new virtual format. So, as we both mentioned, you can make donations tonight online at biddingforgood.com/OI Foundation. Let's take a look at our leaderboard and see how we're starting out the night. We are off to a great start tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for all your support and your donations so far.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, everyone. Mimi and Papa, thank you for the $3,000 donation. So as Melissa said, one of the silver linings of a virtual format tonight is that we will get to hear many stories of our fellow OI community members. Tonight, we're going to start off with Amy Bevan. Amy is an amazing woman and friend who I got to know many years ago when she and her husband, Sean, got involved in the Unbreakable Spirit Walk for OI with our local event. Amy has a wonderful story, and it makes me more excited than I can even say to have Amy kick us off tonight.
Hello, I am happy to be speaking with you today to show my support for the wonderful Chrissy Rossi. Chrissy, in addition to managing the many challenges the COVID-19 pandemic continues to present each day, incredibly is also still working tirelessly to raise funds for the OI Foundation and OI research. And I'm sure that I speak for everyone in the OI community when I say thank you to her for all of the work she has done in the past, as well as the work she continues to do today, even under these circumstances. She is truly amazing. And so when she asked if I would consider sharing a little bit of my OI story for her event, how could I say no, right? So I'll introduce myself. My name is Amy. I have OI type 1 that I inherited from my mom, Elaine. She inherited OI from her mom, Anne. They were from the city of Leeds in England. I am here in Sudbury, Massachusetts with my daughter Molly, who inherited OI type 1 from me. Molly is currently recovering from a knee dislocation, and I am on the mend from a fractured patella. So this being a virtual event actually works quite well for us. So I guess going back, I'd say that I don't really know much about my grandmother's experience with OI, other than she had one leg that was significantly shorter than the other because she had broken it so many times. She died before I was born, so I never met her. But I did recently find some old documents, including her birth and death certificate, and I learned that she died at the age of 57 from a mesenteric hemorrhage after suffering from diverticulosis and a ruptured colon. Thanks to advances in medical knowledge, doctors would now know that all of these conditions were very likely related to her having OI. They would certainly know that osteogenesis imperfecta isn't just a brittle bone disease, as it was described in my grandmother's time and is sometimes still called today. As a collagen disorder, doctors treating patients with OI now know that it impacts all of the tissues of the body, not just the skeleton. The vascular and cardiopulmonary systems are significantly impacted and must be monitored closely in patients with OI. Doctors do know much more now than they ever did, and this was actually very evident to our family when my mom died suddenly from an aneurysm 5 years ago at the age of 70. The neurosurgeon who had treated her at MGH was familiar with the broad impacts of the condition and explained that OI was likely the cause of her death. My hope is that future research, like the studies that are funded by the OI Foundation, can uncover even more information that doctors can use to develop treatments that will help patients with OI live longer and healthier lives beyond just the prevention and treatment of fractures. Research funded by the OI Foundation can help patients with OI also, I think, become better advocates for their own health. I am able to work much more proactively with my doctors than my mom ever could back when she was my age, and certainly more than her mom ever could. For example, when I have surgery, I know that I need to discuss with the surgeon that they should have extra blood on hand because my tissue takes sutures differently than typical patients. I also know I need periodic echocardiograms to keep an eye on my heart, and also now MRA scans to watch for changes in the vessels in my brain. I wish my mom had known to do this back in her 40s, and I am hopeful that my daughter's experience with this condition will be informed by even more advances in the future. This kind of knowledge, I think, has never been more important than it is right now. Without the advances in our understanding of this condition as something beyond brittle bones, our community would never have known that COVID-19 poses a potentially greater risk for people with OI. I wish desperately that there was even more information available to us right now, some indication that our compromised lung and cardiac tissue can fight a COVID-19 infection effectively, but at least we do know enough to realize that we have to take greater precautions. I'd just like to add that even at times when there was very little knowledge of OI in the medical community, I'm proud to say that the remarkable women in my family that I've just spoken about were never defeated by this condition. My grandmother, even after all those broken legs, just added a lift to one of her shoes and went right on being the matriarch of a family of 7. And as a young woman, my mom immigrated to the U.S. all on her own, supported herself, and then even when my father died from cancer when I was a toddler and my brother was a newborn, she raised 2 kids on her own, 2 kids, both with OI, nonetheless, with all of the hospital trips and casts that entails. So I guess I just want to end my story by presenting the findings of my own informal OI research, which is that while those of us with OI may be lacking in the collagen department, there is absolutely no lack of strength or resilience in us. Thank you so much for listening. I hope, if you can, that you'll make a contribution to continue this research that is so important to our family and to thousands of other OI families like mine across the world. You can do this at biddingforgood.com/OI Foundation, and thank you so much.
Huge thank you for sharing your story and for being brave enough to tell it. And the story of your mother and your grandmother and your entire family was just amazing. My favorite part was that they were never defeated. And that is, simply put, the definition of an unbreakable spirit. So thank you again.
One thing we love at our events are the raffles, and we didn't want to miss out, even though we're not in person. So everyone who's joining us tonight has been entered to win our door prize raffles. And it's time to see who our first winner will be. So let's bring up our wheel.
We do love a raffle. Look at that wheel.
That's a full wheel. Kimberly Ternicki, congratulations.
Yay.
You have won a $25 gift card to Amazon.com.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Melissa,
That was
I would
really
love
fun.
That was
Sorry.
fun. We'll do lots more of them. And before we get into our next video and our next story, I would love to take a minute, if it's okay, to thank and recognize my wonderful committee members. We couldn't do this event or any of the 16 past events. You can believe there have been that many without you. Some of you have been with me the entire 16 years, so I just want to take a moment to shout out first my parents, Richard and Mary Ellen Wyman, my sister Michelle, Sienna, Mike, Blake, the whole Patorsky family, Laura, Beth, and Emma Minucci, Cara Rossi, Kathy Coots, Christina Barrett, Lisa Kaufman, Jen Sermian, Taryn Smith, Dr. Spencer, Dr. Samantha Spencer, Dr. David Bernick, and this leads me to my newest committee member, Alicia O'Sullivan. So speaking of Alicia, I'm really excited to introduce our next video about Alicia's OI story.
Hello, I wanted to start by thanking everybody for attending this virtual gala tonight. The fact that you were willing to commit an hour of your time and your attention and your energy to hearing about the OI Foundation and the Strong Bones Boston Gala and the mission that we're trying to fund is really important to so many people. And I just wanted to say how thankful I am for everybody who's here tonight. My name is Alicia O'Sullivan, and I'm 32 years old. I have type 1 osteogenesis imperfecta. I was diagnosed shortly after birth when they realized that I had a fractured skull with no apparent rhyme or reason as to how that happened. My mother also has type 1 OI. She was diagnosed when she was in her mid-20s, and she is the first person in our family to have OI. I personally have broken over 60 bones. I deal with muscle sprains and strains and bruising. Luckily, as I've gotten older, the breaks have gotten further and further apart. I'm currently nursing just one broken finger, which is a pretty good run for me. I'm still active despite having OI. I always have been. My parents always encouraged me to pursue and try out whatever I wanted, which included just about every kind of sport that I could, with the exception of swimming, which is pretty much the #1 recommended thing for a kid with OI. But of course, I had no interest in that. I'm still pretty active. I play in an adult co-ed soccer league, and I really enjoy that. Fortunately, because the breaks are further apart, they've been less for me to worry about in the most recent few years. But something that I have noticed is some respiratory trouble, some shortness of breath. I started noticing it on the soccer field or when I was going for a run, that despite being pretty fit and working out, I was just struggling to catch my breath. It translated into day-to-day life when I found myself, huffing and puffing after going up a flight of stairs or even after long conversations. Last year, I attended the Strong Bones Boston Gala after deciding that I needed to do a little bit more research about OI and find out what the implications of having it would be and how it would affect my future. I went on to the OI Foundation's website and started doing a little bit more research, and I saw the gala and I bought some tickets. I met Christine, and her event was amazing. Her and her committee put on just a wonderful fundraiser. The people who spoke were heartwarming. The funds that were raised were amazing. And listening to the research that the funds are funding for this cardiopulmonary study really hit home for me. I actually didn't realize that OI could affect my lungs and my heart to the extent that it could. The testing that they are doing in this study is going to benefit a lot of people with type 1 OI, possibly myself included. Please consider giving tonight to fund the amazing research the OI Foundation is pushing forward. No donation is too small, and we appreciate all of your support. You can go to www.biddingforgood.com/OI Foundation to not only donate, but to place a bid on some of our wonderful auction items. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Your support is so appreciated.
Amazing, Alicia. A big thank you and a big shout out to Alicia for sharing her story. I am so beyond grateful to have met Alicia 2 years ago at our event, and her call to action to want to help and join our efforts and make a difference is just like a breath of fresh air. A lot of people say we want someone else to do it, and Alicia has jumped in both feet this year, and we could truly not have done it without you. So thank you so much, Alicia, for your commitment, and we love you.
Alicia mentioned we have an amazing online auction tonight at biddingforgood.com/OI Foundation, featuring items from sports memorabilia to wine delivery services, hearing aids to a 10-yard dumpster. So let's take a look at some of the items that we have available tonight and see how the online auction is going. So we have a Boston Bruins towel that's been signed by Charlie Coyle. Oh, a 30-minute acupuncture session for stress relief. I don't know about anybody else, but I could sure use that.
I'll take that, please.
Great. So keep checking Bidding for Good. It's going to be available until Friday, October 16th. So you have plenty of time to bid on items. Oh, I got outbid on the Starbucks. Okay, let's move on.
That's great. Is it time for another raffle?
I think it is.
Oh, get that wheel out.
Oh, Dick Wyman! Congratulations.
This is definitely... Sorry, Melissa, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is definitely reminiscent of our in-person events, because anybody who's been to them knows my dad wins everything. I suppose that's probably because he buys 1,000 raffle tickets. So at least we're true to form here.
You won a $25 gift card to Amazon.com, so congratulations.
Congrats, Papa. All right, next up, I have the privilege of introducing my beautiful and amazingly talented niece, Sienna Petorsky. I am thrilled and proud beyond words to have Sienna share her OI story with all of you. And not only could I not be more proud of the person she is, but I could not be more proud of how beautifully she tells the story. So next up, Cece.
More than 7 billion people in the world, and of those people, around 1 in 15,000 have a brittle bone condition called osteogenesis imperfecta. It doesn't sound like a lot of people, but in comparison to the 7 billion people already out there, it's a lot. And these people have come together to create an amazing foundation to research, raise awareness, and most importantly, support each other. My name is Sienna Petorsky. I'm 16 years old, and I have type 1 osteogenesis imperfecta. I have a long list of family history when it comes to OI, starting with my grandfather, Richard Wyman, who had 2 daughters, my aunt Christine Rossi and my mother, Michelle Petorsky, who had me and my awesome cousin Jack. My aunt and grandfather have been heavily involved with the foundation for as long as I can remember, and my family and I have been doing fundraising dinners for many years now. This foundation has been in my life since birth, and honestly, I don't know what I would do without it. The foundation every other year has conferences where parents go to the panels and learn about what research the foundation has done and do adult stuff, while us kids go tell our war stories and create bonds that last a lifetime. Before I jump into why the foundation means so much to me, let me tell you my war story. My first break was when I was 3 years old from jumping off an old couch. I had a yellow-green neon cast that I insisted on keeping. And yes, it did stink, and yes, I still have it. My long list of breaks only goes on from there, from tibia breaks to elbow surgeries to breaking my fingers on repeat. Along with the fact that I have a brittle bone disorder, and against almost all my doctor's orders, I play at a very competitive level of soccer. And trust me, just because you have a brittle bone disorder doesn't mean anyone knows, nor would they care. Unfortunately, getting body checked and your legs taken out from under you is simply part of the game. Most recently, I tore my ACL, and although it is not a bone, the surgery was quite an experience. At the time, there were only 2 documented cases of people with OI tearing their ACL. There were many factors that we had to worry about going into the surgery. How was I going to react to the meds for being under for so long? Was there going to be an excessive amount of bleeding? Where would they harvest my new ACL from? Would the bones around my knee break? My surgery lasted almost 4 hours. The average ACL surgery lasts only 1. Usually, with this kind of surgery, they would harvest from the patella. But because I have this brittle bone disorder, they discovered that this would not be a good option, and it may end up breaking in the future. So they took from my hamstring and some of a cadaver. Luckily, the surgery went very well thanks to my amazing team of doctors, the foundation itself, and my friends and family. And I'm on the road to recovery. However, this is why research is so important to the foundation. Another example is my mom. She had a million problems with her hearing and a million surgeries in regard to it, and she didn't even know it was related to OI. And my aunt, before she got pregnant, had no idea that there was going to be a possibility of her almost bleeding out, all because of OI. And my grandfather also has a million heart problems that he had no idea was connected to OI. Figuring out what specifically is going on inside of our body and what it's affecting is our main goal. As for a long-term goal is obviously to find a cure, but in order to continue researching, we need your help. Every penny you are donating today will further our research and help educate ourselves more on what is going on inside our bodies. Although the foundation does an amazing job and a fantastic job on research, it also creates a support system for all of the people living with the condition. As new parents coming into OI community with a first-generation OI child can be very scary. They have no idea what to expect. Coming to these conferences and looking at research online that the foundation has done will better prepare these parents on what to expect. But also keeping in touch with the people you've met at conferences and continuing to check in on them and support them through everything is one of the main reasons I've gotten through all my breaks. So please, I encourage you to donate tonight. It would mean the world not only to me, but to everybody else with the condition. Thank you so much.
A huge thank you to my Cece Bear. I think after that story, and certainly that delivery, we can all agree that with Sienna leading the charge in the next generation of OIF supporters, the future for the foundation, for research, and for our OI community is a bright one.
And we're so honored to be joined by over 100 of you tonight. This is our first ever virtual fundraiser, and we're so touched that you have helped us pivot this year, since fundraise at this event plays such a vital role in the foundation.
So while we're on that topic, I would love to give a shout out to all of my OI community who showed up here tonight from all over the place. You are all like family to me. I see my dear friend, Susie Wilson. And I want to thank Jim Early, my fellow board member, for joining as well. And, you know, we were all supposed to be together this summer for conference, which obviously because of COVID didn't happen. But as Sienna said so perfectly, we live for those conferences. Those are the times that we get together, and they're such an important part of living with OI. We just get to be with our people, and we get to learn from the medical teams and professionals and really just connect with people who really get us and get what it is like to live with OI. So if I missed anyone in the list, because we have so many folks here, I love you for joining. I know Stephanie Greenwood was going to jump on. I'm not sure if she's here yet, but I love you for showing up. And Cameron, my buddy Cameron, who's our president of the foundation, who never misses a beat. And is doing an amazing beyond words job, you know, leading our foundation. And it's just an honor to work with you all every day. So thank you for being here.
Thanks, Christine. Let's take another look at our leaderboard tonight and see how we're doing.
Oh, yay, the leaderboard.
That's quite the jump, guys. Thank you so much for your donations.
That's amazing. Oh, and John and Judy Patorsky, thank you so much for your donation. So great to see you here. So great to see you joining us and supporting Sienna and all of the Patorskys and everyone here. Thank you so much. All right. So next up, Emma Minucci, my dear sweet friend Emma. I've known Emma and her their moms, Beth and Laura, before Emma was even born. Emma is definitely the definition of courage, resilience, and spunk all rolled into one. And if Emma wants to do something, Emma's going to do it no matter what's in her way. She inspires me all the time, every day, and it is a true honor to walk this journey with the Minucci's and their friends that I consider family. So with that, I want to turn it over to Emma to share her story.
Hello, my name is Emma. I'm 10 years old and I have type 4OI. I've broken a lot of bones. I break sometimes just when I'm walking or sometimes when I'm playing too rough. I have always taken the cautious road when I'm playing with my friends. If they aren't careful, they might get a bruise. If I'm not careful, I'll be stuck left out for 6 weeks with a cast or be in the hospital. Thank you to all of my doctors and nurses that have helped, like Dr. Spencer, Dr. Jacobson, and Dr. Pleat. They've helped me a lot. Thank you. Dr. Jacobson found a medicine that makes my bones stronger. I hate getting the injection, but I'm happy that she learned a new way to treat my OI. Dr. Spencer put rods in my bones that can grow with me. Dr. Pleat is my newest doctor, and she's going to learn everything that she can about OI. She can learn a lot from the OI Foundation, and she can learn from me. A lot of my mom's friends have given a lot of money to the Gala. We have to make money every year to keep learning and keep helping kids like me. Please help by making a donation today. Thank you.
Wow, what a great message from Emma. Thank you so much, my sweet Emma. As Emma's learning, even at such a young age, a person living with OI, having a good and knowledgeable team of medical professionals is literally vital to our health, wellness, and happiness. And on that note, I would love to introduce our titanium sponsor for this evening, Dr. Samantha Spencer from Boston Children's Hospital.
Good evening. It's a great pleasure to join you tonight. My name is Dr. Samantha Spencer, and I've worked treating OI patients for most of my career. I've been very fortunate to work in a tremendous team of people at Boston Children's Hospital, from cast techs to physical therapists, nurses, endocrinologists, and researchers. I myself am an orthopedic surgeon who offers fracture care as well as telescoping rodding. But I recognize the tremendous value of teamwork to help treat OI patients and their families. The OI Foundation has been tremendously important to furthering this research and also bringing support to patients and families affected by OI. I think I've learned more from the foundation and leaders in the foundation like Chrissy Rossi than I have taught you. It's a great privilege to be asked to speak to you tonight. I'm going to share my screen so that we can see the Strong Bones Gala website here, Bidding for Good with the auction. Please consider donating tonight. Your dollars go to really good cause here that supports research to improve the care of OI patients. Our research goal currently is to better the understanding of heart disease and valve problems in OI patients, which has been more recently recognized to be an issue. Thank you again for having me join you, and I look forward to seeing everyone virtually now and hopefully in person soon in the future.
Thank you so much, Dr. Spencer. Truly, the honor is ours. I don't know how what our OI community would do without you or how we would go on. And specifically this afternoon, Dr. Spencer, I spent my afternoon at Children's Hospital texting Dr. Spencer. So just one of the many occasions when we are all just trying to find our way. And if we didn't have you, we would literally be lost. So speaking of not knowing what we would do without supporters, I want to take a moment to thank our other sponsors for this evening. These are our tireless sponsors, not just this year, but every single year. You guys show up. These sponsors show up for this event and OIF. And thank you deeply from the bottom of our hearts, Dr. Spencer, Dr. Vernick, from Vernick and Gopal. Dr. Vernick is also a hearing doc that specializes in OI patients. Again, we would be lost without you. Half of this community still would be struggling with hearing without you. And of course, the Wyman family, who donates tirelessly year after year. Doug Gibson, our uncle, who also donates year after year, and the International Union of Operating Engineers, local number 4, my husband's union, also donates tirelessly. So without you, we couldn't keep this research going. So thank you. I think it's raffle time, Melissa. I missed the wheel.
Let's bring the wheel back then. And while we're bringing it back, I also want to express my thanks to our sponsors. Thank you all for everything that you continue to do for us. Daryl Kaiser.
I think it's another Amazon gift card.
Yes, you have won a $25 Amazon gift card. Congratulations, Cheryl.
Yay, congrats. Don't we love the wheel, you guys?
Love
we
that wheel.
love the wheel. Shout out to Kathy Coots for finding it for us, and to the foundation for making it an OIF wheel. Okay, so next up we have Cammie Allen, who's going to share her story. I have had the privilege and pleasure of getting to know Cammie and work with her on our committee. She also found us through the Strong Bones Boston Gala and jumped right in to offer help and support over the past few years. On a personal level, we deal with a lot of the same things with OI, both as moms of 2 boys, and she has a really amazing and touching story that I'm thrilled she's sharing with us tonight.
Hi everyone, I'm Cammie Allen. I'm 39 years old and I have type 1 osteogenesis imperfecta. I'm the first in my family to be diagnosed with OI. Luckily, I was diagnosed at birth by my pediatrician because he noticed that I had a dislocated hip, I had bowing in both of my femurs, and he picked up on my blue sclera. My parents took me home from the hospital on a pillow. They always tried to keep me, when I was really younger, in one unit to not move me as much as they possibly could. And I can really only imagine how scared they were with my diagnosis, but they never let me see that. They were always supporting me to chase my dreams, and that enabled me to have the absolute best childhood. Of course, with OI comes fractures. Throughout my childhood and adolescence, I sustained 15 major fractures and had 2 surgeries. Can you believe that 15 is considered a low number of fractures for someone with OI? I never let my disability get in my way. I never let it define me as a person. In fact, if someone was to show me sympathy when I was a child, I would actually get angry because I was genuinely happy. I never wanted people to feel sorry for me. I was a cheerleader for 7 years, and after that I coached a kids team for 2 additional years. I learned to drive, I went to college and graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in English. On May 20th, 2007, I married my husband, Jared. Despite usually using a wheelchair for long durations of time, I was determined to walk down that aisle, and I did. And I did not use my wheelchair my entire wedding day. I've always been the type of person that once I set off to do something, I'll persevere until it gets done. Being a mom is something I have always wanted. However, with that being said, there's the chance that any child I would have had a 50% chance of having osteogenesis imperfecta. My first son, Lincoln, was born on November 23rd, 2009, and my second son, Avery, was born 4 years later on November 18th, 2013. Miraculously, both of my children do not have OI. On January 8th, 2015, our lives were turned upside down. My husband, my children, and myself were involved in a catastrophic car accident. While my husband and children were okay, I was not. In that single accident, I sustained 15 broken bones. I had a skull fracture in 2 places. My neck was broken in 2 places. My sternum was broken. My pelvis was fractured in 4 locations. My left femur was a compound fracture, and I broke my left tibia and fibula, as well as my right tibia. Before this accident, I told you I had 15 fractures, and in a split second, my number doubled. I now had 30. I had countless surgeries, and my recovery process, it took well over a year. And in some ways, I'm still recovering. I have nerve damage that I live with daily, and I struggle with PTSD. But with all that being said, I'm eternally grateful because it's a miracle that I survived. Part of me credits my OI for my survival. I always said it's what makes me strong on the inside. During my recovery from our car accident, it was discovered that I was tachycardic, which means I had a higher than normal resting heart rate, so I was referred to a cardiologist. It was then discovered that not only was I tachycardic, but I also have a leaky valve. I never realized that osteogenesis imperfecta could affect your cardiovascular health. I currently take medication to lower my resting heart rate, and my valve is monitored by my cardiologist. What's so scary about this isn't bones we're talking about now, it's my heart. It's still so new for doctors. They're trying to learn exactly what this means for people with OI, and ultimately, they need research. And research, as we know, takes funding. So tonight, out of the kindness of your heart, please consider making a donation to fund the Cardiopulmonary Adult Research Study for the OI Foundation. Myself, my family, and the members of the OI community would greatly appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Cammie. Oh, what an amazing story. I have chills. What an amazing story of resilience. I'm so excited that Cammie shared her story. Something that every time I hear, I'm just in awe of the resilience, truly. And Cammie's story is exactly the reason we are here tonight. Thank you, Cammie, so much for shining a light on all of the challenges that we still don't really fully understand, and it is the only way we will find answers.
Absolutely, you're totally right, Christine. So with that, let's take a look at our live event leaderboard and see how we're doing this evening.
Let's see.
Wow, we're at over $10,000. Thank you, everyone, for all of your support and your donations tonight.
That's amazing. Thank you all so much. All right. Well, what do you think? Another raffle? Let's get that wheel going.
I think we have time for one more. Steven Sullivan, congratulations. You have won a wine tasting for 20 at Total Wine & More in Natick, Massachusetts. Congratulations.
Excellent. Oh, that's a good one. Let me know when you're going, Steven. I'll go with you. All right. So I would love to thank the OI Foundation for many things. But I want to take a minute to thank them for inviting me back on the board of directors for a second go around. They didn't have enough of me the first time, but it's such a critical time in the foundation's future, a time when it's more important than ever to find answers, provide support, raise money for research, and really take it to the next level. And I'm so honored to have past and present fellow board members, as I mentioned, Jim Early and Cameron Penn here tonight. And I know Susie was on earlier, but no one more so than my dad, Dick Wyman. 17 years ago, my father believed I had something to offer the board and the OI Foundation, and he pushed me tirelessly to get involved. If not for my dad's commitment to the OI Foundation, I would not only not have gotten involved, but we would not be here today. So to the man that lit the fire to give back, support the OI Foundation, and has not stopped supporting it or me for that matter, my dad, the incomparable Dick Wyman, is going to share his story.
Hi, my name is Dick Wyman. I was asked to give a brief talk tonight about my history with OI. the importance and the impact the foundation has had on me, and to talk about our mission for tonight. First, I'm 74 years old. I have a type 1 OI. I'm married to my wonderful wife, Mary Ellen, 50 years this year, just like the OI Foundation celebrating their 50th year anniversary. I had two daughters, Michelle and Christine, and 4 grandchildren, two by each daughter. In that group, there myself has OI, Michelle and Christine have OI, and 2 of the grandchildren have OI as well. 3 of which are on the committee with myself tonight for this event, Michelle, Christine, and Sienna. My history includes the usual type fractures as a child, mostly as a child. I had about 20-odd fractures, the most serious being an ankle fracture from a boating accident and a broken femur. Nothing that serious that prevented me from living a normal life, becoming an avid runner, a long-distance runner, and being successful in my own businesses. My history is 5 generations with type 1 OI. My father and his mother had type 1 OI as well. And the most impactful one was my father, who at age 55 had a heart attack and later died on the same day of an aortic aneurysm. That was very difficult on me because he was my closest friend. We talked about OI. And really at that time in the 60s, there wasn't really too much known about OI and not anyone to talk to about OI. Unlike today where we have the foundation and it offers so much support. That I didn't have growing up. And the next, probably the most impactful event was when my daughter Christine was born. Who was heading this whole event miraculously in these difficult times. She had a lot of fractures. So much so that it made me start thinking about how I could do more and make a difference. So I sought out looking for these opportunities with the National Foundation and quickly connected with them and became heavily involved with them. And they quickly asked me to use my experience to be on the board of directors and serve in executive capacities and ultimately become first vice president and acting president. So I learned a great deal about the inside of how the foundation worked, the importance of what they do, and seeing what it does to help so many people. That passed along the way to my daughter, who I encouraged to get involved with the foundation, and thank God, and I feel so blessed that she did, as did my other daughter, and now my granddaughter, to make a difference in their lives, to do what they could for the foundation. I can't say enough about the fracturing of bones was an issue with me, but not a major issue. My problem, became with hearing and the connective tissue with the heart. All these things led to my reaching out for the support of the foundation, and they were absolutely miraculous in how they could support, and I've seen the support they give. So I ask you, if you can, in these difficult times of the COVID, with the mission tonight to fund our foundation, and the mission we try to research to find more about the connective tissue problems that our foundation faces, to try to make it better for the younger adults and living a longer life. Do anything you can to help us would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Papa, not just for your beautiful story, but again, for lighting the fire and blazing the trail with your undying support for the OI Foundation that started over 40 years ago.
I want to add my thanks to all of our presenters tonight. We know how hard it can be sometimes to talk about yourself, and we truly appreciate you putting yourselves out there and sharing your OI story. And I think it's so important to see that we're all in this together. And even though we can't be together in a ballroom, none of us are ever alone. So we've had fun with our raffles, but I think we should have a little bit of different fun tonight. I know we've all gotten used to wearing masks, but if you'd like to join us in a fun masquerade contest, you can put on your favorite mask now and turn on your video. And I don't mean the kind of mask that covers your mouth and your nose, but a fun mask. When you see a friend who you like their mask, type their name in the chat, and we'll come back and announce a winner at the end of tonight.
And Melissa, I just wanted to throw it out there to everyone that in the chat, I just pledged $1,000 to support my dad to honor him and his story. So if anyone else would like to pledge in the chat, feel free. If you want to support anyone who was brave enough and courageous enough to share their beautiful story, we'll track that as well.
Yep. Thank you so much, Christine. People can make their pledge in the chat and we'll follow up with them after the event, or they can go online to biddingforgood.com/OI Foundation. And while people are putting their masks on and putting stuff in the chat, let's go ahead and take one more look at our leaderboard. Remember that the auction is going to be open until October 16th. So you still have a full week to bid on items. Items like this 2 passes to Boundless Adventures in Berlin, Massachusetts, which is currently only at $50. So you can go ahead and bid on that. Or these amazing rechargeable hearing aids that actually have no bids yet. So you could get these things for $2,000 instead of their retail price of $6,500. And I'd also like to call attention to our total raise tonight. So far, we have raised $31,000 for the OI Foundation. You all should be commended, and thank you so much for everything that you do.
Thank you so much. We can't thank you enough.
Christine, I love your mask.
You love it?
I do. It looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Let's see who else has got a mask on tonight. And if we've had anyone, oh my gosh, look at you guys. You look fantastic. Do we have a winner yet, do you think, for the mask?
I don't know.
I don't know yet. Don't forget to put your donations. Dr. Vernick's mask. You're ready for the plague.
I love it so much. Oh my gosh, everyone looks so great.
I think my vote goes to Deanna O'Sullivan. It's not every day you see a dog in a mask. I really appreciate that.
I love it. Look at Jen Sermian. That's so great.
I think our winner tonight is Alicia O'Sullivan. Congratulations, Alicia. You have won a $25 gift card to Amazon.com.
Yay! Congratulations. Oh, and I just want to shout out Melissa Baker made a donation in honor of Sienna. So wonderful. Thank you so much. She made a pledge in the chat. Awesome.
Thank you. Let's look one last time at our leaderboard here. We're $27,528 in just donations. Thank you so much, everyone. You are amazing. So I think that calls an end to the night.
I think it does. I just want to thank everyone. We cannot thank you enough on behalf of all of us here, the OI Foundation. Do you love that I'm doing my rap with my mask on?
I do.
It's so good. And all of your support, all of you who shared your stories, who were brave enough to share your stories and to show up and support us. We really and truly could not do it without you, and we are grateful beyond words.
We truly are grateful, and we thank you all for coming out here tonight, logging onto your computers for an hour with us. I hope those of you who got your charcuterie boxes from Sincere Cheer have enjoyed them. I was very jealous that I'm not local.
Exactly. Oh, and I just want to do another pledge. Michelle and Mike Patorsky, $1,000 for Sienna, in honor of Sienna. Yay! You guys are fabulous. fabulous. I love it.
Thank you, guys.
Amazing. I'm so proud of you all.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight, and we truly appreciate your support. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.